What's going on, guys? Matic here. In today's video, we're going to go over on why your pistol reloads look like this instead of this. Okay, so before we look at the real reason on why we mess up pistol reloads, we need to look at the two things that we're using to do a pistol reload. That's basically our magazine and our pistol, or my pistol loader. And so we all know that when we go to grab our magazine, or what we should be trying to do is grabbing it in about the meat of our hand, grabbing it with our finger, running up the front edge, and bringing it into the mag well of our pistol, and pushing in. If everything goes correctly, it goes in nice and smooth. Okay. So what are the things that can make this not happen? And it's basically on this open mouth area of our mag well. This is a Gen 5 lower, so it has a slightly flared mag well. You can kind of see there's a beveled edge there going to the plastic and all this. So the Gen 5 Glocks make reloading a little bit easier to do reloads, but you can still fub it up. And you can kind of see on the edge of my mag well where it's a little beat up and where I have been messing up. And that's simple to fix. Just take a little needle file or something and just smooth it out. Kind of need to go over this a little bit. But when we're putting in our mag is, one, when I practice my pistol reloads, I have a dummy round already put in to take care of some of the issues when it comes to reloading I'm about to talk about. So on the magazine, there's specific parts of it that can catch within this area of the mag well. And it's basically anything that's close to a flat surface or has a hook, especially up here in the front, can snag on parts of your mag well. And in the beginning of the video where I showed the incorrect or the messed up reload, I was actually using this mag. This is an ETS mag, so it's definitely built different than OEM mags. I have quite a few ETS because I'm a poor, but they work. And I actually wound up catching it on this lip. This flat lip right here on this part of my mag well. It got caught. I had to rummage it a little bit, and then it slid right in. Okay. And I've also caught it up here on the front, even with a round. The reason I put the round in is so it makes it a little bit easier. In case I hit here, it'll usually bounce it in, but I've still caught it. If my angle was wrong coming in, I'll catch it here. You see a little bit of deformation. I've done that. I've also caught the little lip here on the round itself on this part of the mag well. You can see where it's beat up a little bit right there, where I've come in a little bit too hot or too angled, caught it here, and it gets caught. So where Gen 5 has this more generous bevel, so that doesn't happen nearly as much. There's also the other lower I have, which is for a Gen 3 Glock. And you can see the bevel in this, or you can almost see, but it actually comes in a little bit, but then it comes straight up. So it's not a consistent bevel. And up here on the front, it actually doubles back on itself, which is really, really weird. But it's a Gen 3, and they were made like that. I don't know why. So to the main reason on why, when we do reloads, we mess up. And it's technically a training issue. Like, you can train it out of yourself, But if you don't realize what your mind and body is doing to you, you're not going to realize on why you keep messing up. And it is a mind and body issue. Your mind is basically moving faster than your body is able to adapt to. And you can actually see this happen. I'll use standard mag. Is if you ever watch yourself slowly take out a mag. To take out a mag, you will see that you let it drop a bit, or you can hear, if you reverse this method, you can see on when exactly my fingers come into contact with the magazine. And basically when we go to put it in, it happens in reverse. Boom. So this is what our hand is technically doing. Usually this last, third of the magazine, literally only contact attached to it is maybe my pinky, but it's in most cases, it's just going to be our palm. Boom. And if you practice digitally and you pay a lot of attention, taking all the steps when you first learn, this is fine. Even doing this at home, just ejecting and reinserting your mag is a great fundamental skill to do. It gets you more familiar with your gun. It's when you start pulling from a holster to put in, you're introducing more variables that makes it go wrong. But what happens, especially when we start going fast, is our brain registers this initial tap. Our brain registers contact around here, and it automatically thinks, okay, now it's going in. So you have to get our hand off. And even just like that, I fucked it up. So from here, see, that was nasty. That hung up a little bit. So our brain registers a tap. It moves these things out of the way. Now the magazine is less stable in my hand, and so now it can get all weird. So we have to pay a lot of special attention to one, going in line with our grip. Some people, when they first start out, they will go one, rock, and then in. Whatever your method is, if you can do it at speed, that's one thing. If not, you might want to be able to find another way. And I've actually seen some guys who know what they're doing, even with a magwell. That's the simplest way to fix this issue, but you should always rely on training more than gear, gimmicks, all that stuff. But I actually saw a video a few months ago. A guy was testing a new magwell for him, and he didn't have either a good grip on his mag, or he took his grip off the mag too soon. Mag got sideways and just fell completely out of his hand. And this is a guy who's, I would say, pretty experienced. But you really want to make sure, pay attention, be very conscious of what your hands are doing when you do your pistol reloads. And just something to make of note, when I was doing those two clips at the very beginning of the episode, on my Instagram, I'll post the video, but the first 5 or 6 reloads were essentially good, real good. And that last one, the very last one I did, because I was going until I messed up, it was the 7th, 8th, whichever one it was. It was on this mag that I technically prepped for me not to screw up on. I still wound up catching, boom, and then I got in. So you always kind of want to go back to training. You'll always mess up eventually, but you want a higher success rate than a failure rate. So that's what your body's mainly doing. Your brain's basically getting ahead of your body, like most things in life. So the easy way, the cheap way, is just get a good mag weld. But if you want to do it right and actually be good, you gotta do it. You gotta do a lot of training, lots of reps, lots of reps, lots of reps. I'm Matt, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.